Words of Sri Aurobindo from the book The Mother, Part 2, Letters on the Mother by Our Lord, Chapter 9, The Mother and the Working of the Ashram, page 228, topic, The Mother and the Ashram's Discipline. Sri Aurobindo says, he said, according to X, that the absence of discipline was the great bane in India. Neither individuals nor groups had any discipline. Then why did he weep? Merely because he was not allowed to put his handbag in a place not intended for it? I do not agree myself with him in the idea that there is a perfect discipline in the ashram. On the contrary, there is a great lack of it, much indiscipline, quarreling, and self assertion. What there is organization and order which the mother has been able to establish and maintain in spite of all that. That organization and order is necessary for all collective work. It has been an object of admiration and surprise for all from outside who have observed the ashram. It is the reason why the ashram has been able to survive and outlive the malignant attacks of many people who would otherwise have got it dissolved long ago. The mother knew very well what she was doing and what was necessary for the work she has to do. Discipline itself is not something especially Western. In Oriental countries like Japan, China, and India, it was at one time all regulating and supported by severe sanctions in a way that Westerners would not tolerate. Socially, whatever objections we may make to it, it is a fact that it preserved Hindu religion and Hindu society through the ages and through all vicissitudes. In the political field, there was, on the contrary, indiscipline, individualism, and strife. That is one reason why India collapsed and entered into servitude. Organizations and order were attempted but failed to endure. Even in the spiritual life, India has had not only the free wandering ascetic, a law to himself, but has felt impelled to create orders of sannyasins with their rules and governing bodies, and there have also been monastic institutions with a strict discipline. Since no work can be done successfully without these things, even the individual worker, the artist, for instance, has to go through a severe discipline in order to become efficient. Why should the mother be held to blame if she insists on discipline in the exceedingly difficult work she has put in her charge? I do not see on what ground you expect order and organization to be carried on without rules and without discipline. You seem to say that people should be allowed complete freedom with only such discipline as they chose to impose upon themselves. That might do if the only thing to be done were for each individual to get some inner realization and life did not matter, or if there were no collective life or work, or none that had any importance. But this is not the case here. We have undertaken a work which includes life and action and the physical world. In what I am trying to do, the spiritual realization is the first necessity, but It cannot be complete without an outer realization also in life, in men, in this world. Spiritual consciousness within, but also spiritual life without. The ashram as it is now is not that ideal, for that all its members have to live in a spiritual consciousness and not in the ordinary egoistic mind and mainly rajasic vital nature. But all the same, the ashram is a first from which our effort has taken, a field in which the preparatory work has to be done. The mother has to maintain it, for that all this order and organization has to be there, and it cannot be done without rules and discipline. Discipline is even necessary for the overcoming of the ego and the mental preferences and the rajasic vital nature as a help to it at any rate. If these were overcome, outward rules, etc., would be less necessary. Spontaneous agreement, unity, harmony, and spontaneous right action might take its place. But while the present states of things exist by the abandonment or leaving out of discipline, except such as people chose or not chose to impose upon themselves, the result would be failure and disaster. On that principle, the work also would have gone to pot. There would have been nothing but strife, assertion by each worker of his own idea and self will, and constant clashes. Even as it is, that has abounded, and it is only the mother's authority, the frame of work she has given, and her skill in getting incompatibilities to act together that has kept things going.